Hello and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we'll see how to use the tools that are provided with the man-in-the-middle framework. So first of all, if I just open my terminal and type man-in-the-middle framework and help, then you'll see all of the tools that are available with this man-in-the-middle. You can see we can inject the keylogger, we can just take the screenshot, we can just do something that is screenshot over here. And you can see we can inject the JS URL. So let's see how we can inject the JS URL. We're not going to talk about the beef framework over here, but if I just open the beef, you will see this terminal will be opened, and the beef framework, about the beef framework, will be covered in the upcoming lecture where we'll have the complete section. But in this lecture I am going to only show you about how to inject this URL with the help of man-in-the-middle. So it is beef, and the password over here will be also beef. So our beef framework is up and running. So you could see we have this URL over here, which is the script URL. So that means you can use, which is, let me just make this a bit bigger. Then you could see over here we can use this inject method. So we'll inject the URL with the help of this man-in-the-middle. So let's start there. So first of all, as always, we'll start with the man-in-the-middle framework, and let me just clear this first, and I'll just say man-in-the-middle framework, and we are doing ARP spoofing. So it is ARP spoof, and after that I'll just add the gateway as before. So it will be gateway, and here it will be 192.168.1.1, and after that we'll just add the targets. So I want to inject this JS URL to this machine. That means I have to get the machine's that is IP address. So let's get that. So 192.168.1. So the IP address is right here, which is 14. So its IP address, let's make sure that it is 14, IP config, and it is surely a 14. So after that you have to now give the interface, and in this case it is WLAN 0. So after that what I want to do is inject that JS URL. So it is the payload, or basically this is the argument that is going to inject. So I'll just say HTTP, and you could see the URL is right here. So when I just open that beef framework, it is giving us this URL. So this is the URL HTTP, and now it will be IP address of this Kali machine, and after that we'll have this 3000 port, which you can directly see over here, and here we have this hook.js file stored. So what we are doing is we are just injecting this JS code in this target, or in this machine, which is our window machine. So instead of IP here, it should be IP address of Kali machine. So let's source, or basically let's get that IP address. I have config, and you can see this is IP address of Kali machine. Let's go over here and let's change this. So it is 192.168.1.12. So if I now run this, then it is going to inject our this. Okay, we have here that is interface, and interface is showing us error because we just missed out here one dash. So let's go and let's add one more dash in this spoof, and let's hit enter. Our man-in-the-middle will be running, and now it is running. So you could see clearly our man-in-the-middle framework is up and running. And if I just go to the browser, then you could see the beef framework is also running. So now let's go to this machine, which is our window machine, and let's surf that IP addresses, or let's go to that IP addresses of Kali machine, which is this 192.168.1.12. let's hit enter, and it is going to give us this welcome to hacker world, and this is basically where we have inject our payload. So now our server is up and running, but before that we have to also inject this URL, which is right here in our script. So let's go the place where our server is up and running. So it should be in this root, and in this var www, it is inside this HTML. So you could see the index.html page. So now what I need to do is just give this, basically I want to edit this file. So let's open the terminal here, nano and index.html, and if I hit enter, this is the file, and you could see that we have now injected the source as 192.168.1.11. but now what I want is I'll just remove everything from here. Let's go over here. So instead of, you could see that what you need to do is you'll just capture this URL which is rightly given over here. So let's go back, and where is that terminal? So it is right here. So while opening this beep, you will just get this terminal, and it has this script. So all you need to do is simply copy that and get back to here, and you can just open that terminal where we have this opened here. So we'll just write the IP address now of Kali machine. So the IP address of Kali machine is 192.168.1.12, where we have this port where our hook.js file is stored. So after you put this script in our index.html, you have to save it. Just press Ctrl O to save, just press enter, and Ctrl X to exit. Now our index.html is ready. That means we have now injected this into the file. Now whoever opens that web server, or basically whoever opens that website which is index.html, it is going to inject this hook.js to that URL using this man in the middle framework. So you could clearly see we have now injected this URL to that website, or basically to the website. Index.html is our web server, and in that website we have seen how to inject with the help of man in the middle framework. We have this that is JS URL, which is the argument that is responsible to do that. So let's go to our MS Edge, and if you see that first of all you have to run the web server, and after you run the web server, you will just have to just go to this link, or basically the IP address of the Kali machine, which is 192.168.1.12. in my case, you can confirm it by using ifconfig. So let's confirm that ifconfig. So after that, what you need to do is go back to our server, or basically to go back to our client. Just press that IP addresses. You can confirm the IP addresses. So the IP addresses is right here, 192.168.1.12, which is the IP addresses of this Kali machine. And if I just hit enter, it is going to render the page which is welcome to hacker world, which was the content of index.html. And let's go back to our Kali machine, and let's open this Firefox. Then you could see we have now online browser. So this is the same browser which is the Firefox, which is over here. So now you can inject all of the command. We'll see all in detail in the upcoming lecture, but for now let me just say that I want the redirection, and if I just redirect, I'll just say redirect the browser, and I'll just redirect it to maybe okay, I want to redirect it to twitter.com. So let's execute this command. Let's go back to Firefox. Then it will have now the redirection, that is to the twitter.com. So you could clearly see we have now injected that payload which was done. And okay, why I just try to close it. So let's close this down, and let's get what we have done here. So we use man in the middle framework to inject that hook.js using the JS URL into this target. Now we can run any command that is provided by the hook. In order to just perform that operation, you have to use this man in the middle framework. So this is importance of the man in the middle framework. You can use so much of tools over here. Let's do some more. So let me just close this one because we don't need anymore. And now next is I want maybe the screenshot. So if I want the screenshot, it is man in the middle framework, and if I just go to the help, you will just get everything that is needed. Now we have seen how we can just inject the JS URL with the help of man in the middle framework. Let's see what else we can do. So I'm just saying that man in the middle framework and help, and you could see we have so many options. So we have these options to spoof obviously, and the next is to take the screenshot. So let's see for the screenshot. So it is the same command. So man in the middle framework ARP spoof. After that you have to just pass the gateway first, and the gateway will be 192.168.1.1, and after the targets, and in my case it is targets, and target is 192.168.1.14. after that we have to specify the interface, which is $0, and after that you have to pass the screen. So you could see it is the screen command, and there should be the seconds you want to just capture the screen. So if you don't pass anything over here, it is default as a 10 second. So if you hit enter, you will just grab the screen locks of the client. But there is another, that is the keylogger, which is very interesting. So let's see first that. So after you just get that, that is same command till here, because we didn't have to do anything till now, because it is the same command for the man in the middle framework. Only difference will be your argument that you passed after this interface. So in this case I want a JS keylogger, and okay, it is all in lowercase, JS keylogger, and let's see if this is the actual argument. I am confused over here. Yes, it is JS keylogger, and it will just load that keylogger to our website. So let's hit enter, and our man in the middle framework is running. So let's go over here, and let's search for these websites, and let's go back to the Kali machine. So the error was because of the different client machines. So I just mistakenly tested on the real MS Windows. We have to test on the virtual box, and in here if you see, if I just pass test.php.vln, then it is showing that it is MS Edge, and basically it is window machine over here. And let's go here, and let me just put here something else. So if I say maybe, okay, what if I just do something like, if I say hey, if I just press go, then you will see that there will be the post, and let's go here. So where is the post? So it has not been the post. Here is nothing to show. Let's go and change the setting first. So what I'm going to do is go to the network, connect network adapter, or let's go over here, and in the settings I'll just go to the network, and I'll just say NAT network. Let's press OK. Let's go back here, and now what I need to do is launch again this. Let's see if this has, okay, we are just back to the Firefox or original over here. And now if I say hey, it should capture that keylogger, and now okay, it has not captured. So there might be something. Let's go to your profile, and it has not captured anything yet because we have not written anything. So I'll just say username, and something like username, and let's press login. But this is the keylogger, that means it has to capture something, but it is just giving us this attribute error because of the network connection. It is only showing us this client operation. So this might be error because of the network adapter that we are connecting from the virtual box and on the original hooking function. So that might be one error. We'll just rectify it and show you in the next lecture. See you in the next one.